Imagine waking up one morning to the kind of news that makes your jaw drop, your coffee go cold, and your mind spin faster than a carousel. For royal watchers across the globe, that moment arrived just 5 minutes ago, when Buckingham Palace dropped a revelation that nobody saw coming. Yes, you read that correctly. Prince Louis, the youngest Cambridge child, is reportedly not William's biological son. Cue the collective gasp. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. This isn't just tabloid fodder. This is royal history in real time, a seismic shift that shakes the very foundations of what the world thought it knew about one of the most scrutinized families in existence. If you've ever wondered what it would feel like to have centuries of monarchy tradition collide with jaw-dropping modern drama, you're about to find out. It all started quietly, like whispers that slink through the corridors of Buckingham, barely audible but impossible to ignore. Palace aides noticed something odd: misfiled documents, unusual late-night meetings, and hushed conversations that stopped abruptly whenever someone approached. Anyone who's worked in a large office knows the feeling. The "something big is coming" vibe, and in the palace, that feeling carries an intensity that borders on cinematic. Staff members report seeing senior aides pacing with unusual urgency, exchanging urgent glances and sending cryptic messages across the palace. And then came the leak, an internal memo hinting at extraordinary family circumstances requiring the king's personal attention. That memo alone set social media alight, sparking rumors, whispers, and endless speculation. Imagine being one of the aides. Decades of loyalty, the pride of serving the monarchy, and suddenly realizing that the secret you've been safeguarding might explode into a global story. The tension in the air must have been palpable. Can you picture it? Footsteps echoing, whispers bouncing off gold-trimmed walls, a family's private life about to go public in ways that could never be undone. Curious yet? Wait until you hear how King Charles decided to handle this bombshell. King Charles breaks the silence. In true royal fashion, King Charles approached the announcement with measured dignity. But make no mistake, this was seismic. The king's statement was calm, composed, and carefully worded, yet the weight of the revelation was unmistakable. He acknowledged the unprecedented nature of the situation, emphasizing family, tradition, and duty, but everyone could sense the underlying tension. History was being rewritten before our eyes. Here's the twist: Charles's approach was strategic. By addressing the public directly, he reclaimed some control over a narrative that had the potential to spin wildly out of control. Every word was meticulously crafted to convey authority without revealing every detail. But even a statement this carefully planned couldn't stop speculation. Social media exploded, hashtags trended globally, and newsrooms scrambled to analyze every nuance, tone, and micro-expression. And yet, while the world reacted, insiders were left with the heavier task: managing the emotional fallout within the family. Because as we all know, even kings and princes are human, and when personal secrets collide with public duties, the tension is excruciating. But what did William think about all this? That's where the story takes another jaw-dropping turn. William's response was, in a word, historic. Standing alongside his father, the Prince of Wales delivered a confirmation that left the public and the press speechless. The words were measured, the tone solemn, yet layered with emotion, sorrow, determination, and the weight of responsibility. The global audience saw poise, but insiders noticed the micro-expressions, the subtle clench of the jaw, the brief pause, the tight hands. It was clear that William was processing more than just the facts. He was navigating heartbreak, responsibility, and the intense scrutiny of the entire world. Imagine carrying the weight of your children's reputation, your family's legacy, and the expectations of millions, all at once. That's what William faced. Kate, as always, mirrored his poise publicly, but behind the composed smile, there was private shock. Friends report fleeting moments where her hands would tremble slightly or her eyes betrayed concern, a silent reminder that even royals can't fully mask their emotions. And Louis? Blissfully unaware, he continued to be the innocent center of a storm he didn't know existed. Now, here's where things get even more intense. The revelation didn't stop at whispers or statements. It was backed by something that would leave palace insiders and the world reeling. The DNA bombshell that changed everything. Yes, you read that right. DNA tests, confidentially conducted, reportedly confirmed what no one wanted to believe. Prince Louis is not the biological child of Prince William. Think about the implications for a second. In a monarchy where lineage determines succession, titles, and centuries of tradition, this is nothing short of monumental. The palace is reportedly operating with a dual strategy, maintaining public decorum while managing private chaos. Imagine the logistical ballet of counselors, legal advisors, and communications experts, all trying to control the narrative while also preparing for an emotionally fragile family. The juxtaposition is almost cinematic. Tradition colliding with scandal, ceremony clashing with raw emotion. And let's not forget the ripple effects. Every historian, royal watcher, and casual observer is asking the same questions. How does this affect the line of succession? Will Louis's position in the family hierarchy change? What about George and Charlotte? And how will this impact William and Kate's marriage? You might think this is where the story ends, but it's only the beginning. Because, just as the DNA revelation surfaced, a new layer of intrigue emerged that nobody saw coming. By the time the confirmation went public, social media was ablaze. Twitter exploded with hashtags like #RoyalBombshell, #PrinceLouisTruth, and #WilliamSpeaks. Memes spread faster than wildfire, pundits dissected every pause and glance, and international news outlets scrambled for context. But beyond the memes and opinion pieces lies a deeper question. How does a family protect its children when the world is watching so closely? In today's digital age, there's no such thing as privacy, especially for the royals. Every subtle gesture, every micro-expression, every smile or frown becomes fodder for global interpretation. The palace's attempt at controlling the narrative is like walking a tightrope over a volcano. One wrong step, one accidental leak, and the story could spiral out of control. And insiders hint that some leaks are already in circulation, adding tension, speculation, and drama to an already explosive situation. Curious about how Kate is handling this? Wait until you hear about her private strategy to navigate the media storm while protecting her family. Kate's silent strength. Kate Middleton is often praised for her poise, grace, and ability to maintain composure under pressure. But insiders say that during this latest revelation, her strength was quietly extraordinary. Behind the scenes, she coordinated with advisors, ensured the children's routines were maintained, and even sent subtle signals of reassurance to William. Imagine managing your family while the world is analyzing your every breath. That's Kate's life right now. Her ability to stay calm, communicate quietly, and protect her children's emotional well-being is a masterclass in crisis management. And yet, there's no denying the emotional toll. Friends report private moments of tears and deep reflection, a reminder that even those who appear strongest are profoundly human. Kate's strategy highlights a critical lesson. Composure isn't about pretending everything is fine. It's about navigating chaos with clarity, empathy, and courage. And speaking of courage, let's talk about William again, because he's not done yet. The brothers' private struggles. William and Charles have long shared a complex relationship, balancing respect, love, and the weight of expectation. But this revelation has added unprecedented stress. Private conversations have reportedly become tense, with William advocating for transparency while Charles balances diplomacy, image, and historical precedent. Insiders suggest these private struggles are as dramatic as any public event. Imagine walking through corridors filled with centuries of history, knowing that one wrong word could ignite a scandal, damage reputations, and fracture a family. The stakes are incomprehensibly high, and the pressure is relentless. And yet, amidst this tension, moments of humanity emerge. Laughter in private halls, subtle gestures of reconciliation, and quiet reassurances that family bonds, while tested, remain intact. This delicate balance is part of what makes the monarchy so fascinating to observe, but also profoundly relatable. Now, let's step back for a moment. Beyond the drama, there's a human story here, a story about communication, trust, resilience, and managing unexpected crises. What can we take away from this whirlwind of headlines and whispers? Transparency is powerful, but timing matters. Both Charles and William carefully timed their statements to control the narrative, demonstrating strategic thinking under pressure. Composure under stress is essential. Kate's poise reminds us that navigating public scrutiny requires focus, empathy, and clear communication. Family bonds are tested, not broken. Even in the face of seismic revelations, the monarchy demonstrates resilience and the importance of supporting one another. Preparation is key. Advisors, aides, and legal teams all play a critical role in managing crises, a lesson that extends to business, personal, and public life. Can you see how these principles apply not just to royals, but to anyone navigating high-stakes challenges? And yet, the story isn't over, because history shows that royal revelations often have layers we cannot immediately see. What comes next? Speculation and intrigue. As the dust settles, the public is left to speculate. How will this affect Prince Louis's future, the line of succession, and the family dynamics between William, Kate, and Charles? Will the revelation spark legal challenges, policy changes, or even shifts in public support? Insiders hint at further developments, private meetings, and secret strategy sessions yet to surface. The palace, it seems, is still navigating the storm, weighing each decision carefully. And as global audiences, we're left wondering, what is the next twist in this unfolding drama? In the end, this isn't just a story about royal secrets or lineage. It's a reminder that even the most scrutinized families face human challenges. It's about love, loyalty, heartbreak, and the incredible pressures of life in the public eye. It's about resilience, strategic thinking, and the power of careful communication. So, what can we take from this? How do we navigate unexpected revelations in our own lives? How do we balance transparency, composure, and action when the world, or even just our own circles, are watching? Now it's your turn. What do you think about this shocking royal revelation? Can a family survive a secret like this? Share your thoughts below, and let's continue the conversation. And if you found yourself captivated by this story, don't forget to share it, because some stories are too extraordinary.